I'd like to welcome everyone tonight to Minden City Council regular session of Monday, May 3rd, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. Our opening prayer will be by Wayne Edwards. Our pledge will be by Ms. Tarika Walker. And I would also like to ask everyone to silence your cell phones.
Dear Lord, our Father, I ask that you give this council wisdom, understanding, so that as we deliberate through the night, we make the best decision possible for this city of Minden. We ask this and many other blessings in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item A on the agenda is to adopt the regular council session minutes on April 5th, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion is made by Mr. Wayne Edwards.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Do we have any discussion? There being no discussion, cast your vote, please.
Opening vote now.
Appears to be a tie. I will cast the vote breaking the tie. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is to adopt the council special session meeting on April the 15th, 2021. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Wayne Edwards.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Are there any discussions? There being no discussion, cast your vote, please. Everyone has cast their vote. Motion passes. Wait. Okay. I will be the tiebreaker. Motion passes. Item B on your agenda, council members, is condemned properties. If you flip into your book and look at the first one, it's Jewel Howard. Is Miss Howard here or anybody here representing that property? There's no one here representing that property. Do I have a motion?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
This motion is made by Mr. Wayne Edwards.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Vincent Bradford. Cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimous. If you'll flip in your book to George Harper Estate, is there anyone here representing Mr. Harper's estate? Marshall?
There's no one outside.
No, sir. Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion on that?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
Motion is made by Mr. Wayne Edwards.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Is there any discussion on this? Cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimous. The next property we have is Tonkin Williams. Do I have a motion on that?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
Anyone here for it?
No,
No, no one's here. Well, he called me and he asked for 30 days.
Have a motion made by Mr. Walker.
Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, I'm sorry, excuse me. Mr. Edwards, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Roy. Now, Ms. Walker, if you'll give me your discussion, please.
Yeah, he called and asked for a 30-day extension.
A 30-day extension.
Yes,
Will that be enough, or do we need 60?
30 days should be fine. 30 should be fine.
Okay.
Ms. Walker, was he gonna, like, clean it up or board it
Yeah,
up?
he's going to take the porch off, board it up, and clean up the property.
Okay, would you like to make a secondary motion?
I move to allow Mr. Williams a 30-day extension to take care of the property.
Okay, a secondary motion is made by Ms. Walker. Do I have a second?
Second. I second it.
Seconded by Mr. Edwards. All in favor, cast your vote. Oh, well, just cast your vote.
This is to allow a 30-day extension.
Yes, sir.
Cast your vote.
Motion passes unanimously. First motion dies. Number 4 on the agenda is Lonzie Green. Do I have a motion on that?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator representing his properties on.
Motion is made by Mr. Vincent Bradford,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Is there any discussion on this?
Is there anybody here representing?
No, sir. Nobody's outside. Cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. Mary Harris Sims. Do I have a motion on that, please?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
Motion made by Mr. Vincent Bradford,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Is there any discussion on this? There being no discussion, cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. Essie Lee Ivory Estate. Do I have a motion?
Move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
Motion made by Mr. Michael Roy,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wayne Edwards. Is there any discussion?
Has anyone contacted you about this property?
Not to our knowledge, no.
Okay.
Has anyone contacted you, Ms. Walker?
No.
Okay.
No, I just saw where it looks like they have started to move some things out of the house and kind of prepare. So that's why I was wondering if anyone had contacted you. Okay.
Okay, being no more discussion, cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. Next on the agenda is J.C. Morris Estate. Do I have a motion?
I move to authorize the mayor to appoint a curator to represent the property owners.
Motion made by Mr. Vincent Bradford,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wayne Edwards. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. Next on the agenda, item 8, EJ and Iris Irene Barnes. No one being here. Do I have a motion, please?
I move to authorize the mayor to issue an order declaring the property condemned and further the order the demolition of any structures located thereon and the cleaning of the lot within 45 days from this date.
Motion made by Mr. Michael Roy,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Walker.
Did anyone contact you about that property?
No, ma'am.
So, who did the, let me see.
All of the property owners have been noticed and we've gotten our grant.
Well, these property owners are deceased, so you're not gonna get a response from them.
As far as I know, everything is in order. All the people that needed to be notified have been notified. That's why it has that item B, motion B, instead of motion A.
Somebody sign, please. Certified. Mail.
EJ Barnes signed for it on June the 15th, 21.
June 15th.
4, March, I'm sorry.
Signed form 4/15/21.
April 15th. Yeah.
E.J. Barnes Jr.
Is he deceased?
Junior. He
Junior
has a
signed
son. Wasn't he?
for it. And there's no one out in the lobby? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cast your vote, please. Mr. Roy?
Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed the green button.
Auto delay. Motion passes unanimously. Number 9 on your agenda is Jimmy Johnson. Do I have a motion, please?
I move to authorize the mayor to issue an order declaring the property condemned and further order the demolition of any structures located thereon and the cleaning of the lot within 45 days of this date.
Motion made by Mr. Michael Roy,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wayne Edwards. Are there any discussions?
Didn't she come and obtain a permit?
She did,
Okay.
she did, but we need to move forward with the condemnation so that it's not just an open-ended.
She has, I'm looking on here, she has 45 days, even if we pass it unanimously and she's not complete with what she's doing to permitting specifications, she could come back and ask for an extension at the next council meeting.
Well, she contacted me and she told me that she came and got a permit so that they could get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Have they gotten started on anything?
Do not know that, I don't think so.
No, they haven't. They haven't.
Would
because
you
of the
like to,
weather.
would you like to request for her to have an extension now?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, if you'll make a secondary motion.
I move to authorize a 45-day extension for property condemnation.
Ms. Walker is asking for a 45 days extension with the secondary motion. Do I have a second on that?
So, just to clarify, does that mean 90 days?
She said 45 days.
It's already
With a
had.
45-day extension? I'm confused.
So,
We're already
are
on
you-
45.
Well, no, yeah, 90.
Okay, 90 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same motion, just 90 days instead of 45.
Well,
Well, she's doing a secondary motion because we need to change the word.
I understand that.
Okay,
But
Yes.
the secondary motion is for 90 days,
Correct.
not
yeah,
45.
for 90 days.
90 days.
That's it.
Okay, and it's seconded by Mr. Vincent Bradford. Cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimous. The original motion fails.
Mayor,
Yes,
so the motion is going to read exactly the same, but it's going to say 90 days instead of 45?
Yes, ma'am.
For the minutes, that's right?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next on your agenda, item C. And if you'll see, that's to annex in the property out on 531 belonging to Quick Draw Travel and Casino located at 1703 Highway 531 in Mendon. And you can see all the information behind there. Do I have a motion?
I move to annex the property as described in the attached annexation notification into the city limits of Mendon and authorize the city attorney to advertise the annexation notice and draw up the annexation ordinance.
Motion is made by Mr. Wayne Edwards,
Second it.
seconded by Mr. Michael Roy. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Have you been out to this site, Brent?
Bought gas there several times, yes.
Okay. So my only concern, if I remember correctly, there's a big hole out there, in there, around one of the drainage areas
I don't-
That's the oxidation pond for their sewer.
for their sewer?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That'll be put on us to fix, or will they?
No, that'd be their responsibility.
Okay, so
And
they're-
should they ever want to come into the city, we would let them attach at their expense.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
You says Quick Draw Travel. I know there's a casino.
Yes, sir.
What is the travel?
I guess travel trailers or whatever. I don't know. That's just the name of it.
It's like a convenience store with,
I mean, it's got if I'm not mistaken, it's got a Subway in
Is
it.
this the one? Okay.
It's the first, well, if you're going out 531, it's the last one on your left.
That's just the official name of all
Yeah.
of those properties together. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a travel center casino.
Are the others in the city limits, or the ones before you get there?
Love's is in the city limits. Quick Draw is requesting to be in the city. The other has called but has not turned in any paperwork
This
yet.
is the one with Sam's Eatery?
No, sir.
Not in there?
No, sir. That's the one that has called but has not turned in their paperwork yet. Is there any more discussion?
Let me ask one other question.
Yes, sir.
Right now, where does the city limit end on, coming from 80
Coming from 80,
on 531 going south, I guess?
everything on the left and on the right is outside of the city, including, where Fairway Golf Course is, they're outside of the city. The city limits where you come out industrial, where it tees in, that right there on both sides is in the city. Across the street's not. Love's is, so by us taking them in, that will make it contingent. And then if the other truck stop chooses to come in the city, by them touching Quick Draw's city, they would be allowed to come into the city as well. Does that answer your question? Okay. Are there any more discussions or questions? There being none, cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. If you'll flip to item D in your agenda, that's to adopt the ordinance 1116, and that's the ordinance implementing the safety and traffic enforcement program that we've already approved and defining the infractions as a city violation. And the ordinance is attached in the back of your book here. Do I have a motion, please?
I move to adopt a STEP program as presented.
The motion is made by Mr. Michael Roy,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wayne Edwards. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In the ordinance, it says 12 miles over.
Yes, sir.
Is
That's
there a
correct.
reason that number, not 10, not?
If it's 10,
Okay,
if it's 10, you would have to share that fine with the state.
okay.
If it's 12, the city's allowed to keep the entire
The entire-
amount. Is that correct, Chief Cropper? Yes, sir.
Okay,
So we will not stop them. They have to be doing 12 miles over the posted speed limit of 70.
okay.
It's just the magic number.
The magic number, yes, that's it.
Regardless of if it's 12 miles or 22 miles over, it's still $250.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And it will not go on your driving record if you pay it promptly.
Chief Crawford, do you have all your equipment yet?
No,
Waiting
sir.
on- We're looking at middle of May, all the equipment for the two vehicles.
Things are moving really slow with the shipping and inventory of suppliers. Is there any more discussion? There being no more discussion, cast your vote, please. Passes unanimously. Mr. Fleur, the podium is yours, please, sir. Bring us some good news.
Members of the City Council, Mr. Mayor, as required by the guidelines from the Legislative Auditor, you received a budget to actual comparison report. One member a little bit late, but he got it.
Okay.
For the month of March 2021 for your review. The report provides an overview of all revenues and expenses for all major funds and all departments. Remember last month I talked about the consequences of the electricity bill? The impact is clearly visible if you look in your report, last page, under the fiscal year balance. Previous months, I believe we had positive numbers. This month, we see negative numbers, means expenses higher than the revenue. Other key figures of the months. First, I would like to start with cash in the bank. Let me make first a correction to the previous month's figure. The reported amount last council meeting should have been 18.17 million and not 17.95 million. The cash in the bank at the end of the month of March is 16.09 million. Difference is related to the enormous utility bill. We had to cover additional 2.6 million from the SWEPCO bill. Better news, the sales tax collection for the month of March. In the month of April, remember we're always 1 month behind. Collection was $709,000, 709. Same time period a year ago, 526,000. An increase of $183,000. Budgeted amount is $513,000. So for the month of March, we see a good cushion. Maybe later down the road, it's not that favorable. Got the report this morning from Mrs. Harrington from the Sales Tax Commission, and she says, and I quote, "I believe the overall increase was due to retail shopping, eating out, car purchases, construction, and of course, alcohol sales. Also, she continues, we can't determine the exact amount of alcohol sales. We know it is reflected in the sales.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can she provide us a report of those categories by month?
No. She cannot.
She'd like to, but it's how they turn it
She is
in.
not, I would say she is not allowed to give that out. In that amount of $709,000, we have delinquent payments in the amount of $8,200. Now, I agree with her, but I'm going to make it shorter. It's the stimulus money which went into the economy. And opening up, people are going out, yes, eating, sales tax is going up, but I reflect this on the stimulus amount. Other financial information, which is probably interesting to hear. The employer contribution rates for the retirement systems for the year 2021 to 2022 for the regular city employees stays at 29.5%. The employees in the police department, the rate dropped 4%, down to 29.75. And the fire department, we noticed an increase of 1.5%. The rate will be 33.75%. That's the employer contribution rate for the retirement system. The last number I want to put out is the city is still waiting on the payment from the American Rescue Plan in the amount of approximately $2.1 million to recover the electricity charges we encountered in the month of February. If we're going to receive that money, you will see the fund balances flip over in the positive range again.
Michael, you said the amount is 2.1 million?
Yes.
The first payment.
Okay.
Yeah. There is an announcement or notification that the city should receive 4.3 million. It's going to be divided in two payments. The first payment we're supposed to receive in the next 30 to 60 days. And then after 12 months, another 2.15 million will be paid, but not, or it's limited to certain investments. Let's put it this way.
You will put that money into the general fund or what?
The 2.1
Yes.
we expect,
Uh-huh.
it goes first into the water and electric fund where we pay the bill, and we're going to reverse the transfers we had to make out of the separate funds, out of the general fund, out of, I call it savings account, so let's put it this way.
Okay, so as of right now, that 2.1 million hadn't been earmarked for anything specific?
No,
Okay.
no, not to
Basically,
my knowledge.
basically, it's just going back in the bank to cover what we
goes
had to
back-
pay for the
goes back-
utilities.
Correct. It goes back to the transfers we had to make to cover the 3.6 million for the SWEPCO electricity bill in the month of February. And usually we have somewhere around 900,000 to $1 million. That's the normal bill per month, which leaves about 2.5 million. We paid some out of the general fund, some out of the water and electric fund, made some transfers back and forth, and everything will be reversed when we receive that money. That's the idea. That's all what I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Floor. His report needs no motion.
Yes, one.
Okay, we will go to item F, the police report. Chief Cropper.
Okay, the month of March, we collected $15,725 in city fines, $110 to the crime lab, $450.50 to city court, $420 to the marshal's office, $615 to the Indian Defender's office, $28 to the clerk's fund, $105 to the Ware Center, $22 to the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement, $167 to off-duty witness fees, $42 to the Case Management Information System, $55 to the Louisiana Traumatic Head and Spinal Cord Injury Trust Fund, $140 to the Judicial Building Fund, $5.50 to the Judicial Education Fund, totaling $17,885.
Do I have a motion to accept Chief Cropper's report?
I move to accept the police report for March of 2021 as presented.
Motion is made by Mr. Bradford,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Wayne Edwards. Are there any discussions?
Chief, I see well, in February, we had a big increase. Is that?
Yeah, we attribute that to the stimulus package. We think a lot of people came in and paid their fines because they had some extra money.
Are we getting more DWIs, the open containers, now that we've got alcohol in?
Well, I was tracking that, and I meant to bring all that. They're elevated a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Is there any more questions or discussion of the chief? There being none, cast your vote, please. Report passes unanimously. Chief, if you'll give us your oral report, please, sir.
A few stats. Month of April, we worked 30 traffic accidents. We received 662 calls for service. Actually worked 149 incident reports. We wrote 66 citations. We made 76 arrests. There were 90 warrants issued and 102 warrants served. And I just add a couple of notes about the STEP program. We contacted Harrington's this morning, and they're going to try to get those vehicles ready by the 15th. So maybe sometime between the 15th and the 1st of next month, we'll be ready to roll. And that's all I have.
Are there any questions of the chief?
Chief, I got one question. During the citywide cleanup, we picked up about 18 bags of garbage. And when I look at this report, I don't see anything in here about littering. Do we emphasize that in it?
We write littering tickets somewhat. We don't see a lot of those, and Jimbo might be able to answer that better. But we don't, to actually write a ticket, we actually have to either find a name in some trash or see someone actually throwing it out. So we don't write a lot of littering tickets.
That's the hard part, is most people don't litter when the cop's behind them.
Yeah.
So make it easier if they did.
Chief, do we have, this is not pertaining to your report, but do we have anybody that is at the crossing guard there on Louisville Road? I haven't seen anybody in a while. It may be.
Right there at Pecan View, there's supposed to be one there.
So the Pecan View or Louisville Road? Or
Louisville Road and Pecan View. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody, I got in trouble by my wife because I hadn't been going that way. I go the other way, and that light was out for the flashing light for the school zone. And so she made mention of that as well. And so,
On that goes, We're paying one to be there.
Okay. Yeah, she comes through there, I don't know, about 7:30-ish. So if you would check on that and let me know, please.
Okay, we appreciate it, Chief. Do we have any public comments from the public? Okay, there being no public comments, we'll go to council comments. Mr. Edwards?
Nothing.
No comment.
No comment from
Comment.
neither? Mr. Bradford?
I'd like to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day coming. Hope it's a safe holiday. Hope everybody that has a mother still with them, I hope they enjoy it.
Thank you, Mr. Bradford. Mr. Roy?
I would like to take a minute to thank everybody that came out and helped with the citywide cleanup. I think we made a very good stride, if you would agree, Mayor. But, I really appreciate the Sheriff's Department, the churches, the individuals that got out and took of their time to help Minden clean itself up. I remember there used to be a sign up years and years ago that said the friendliest and the cleanliest city in the South. So I would definitely like to keep this trend going. I know the mayor feels the same, but I really would like to thank you and give appreciation to those who helped. Secondly, school will be letting out soon. There'll be kids up and down streets. I called the chief the other day about some issues with people speeding, especially in school zones. So, not only in school zones, let's please watch our speed. In the neighborhoods, we've got a lot of kids outside playing. This summer, they'll be out in droves. So please, mind the speed limit signs. It's for our own good. We don't want a tragedy to happen here because some child, someone adult, or anybody get run over. So please adhere to the speed limit signs and watch out for those kids playing. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. For my comment, the governor's mandate, on mask is leaving it up to each municipality. I would suggest that if you feel at risk, that you continue to wear your mask. Each particular retail store has their own policies in place, whether they want you to wear a mask or not wear a mask. So we'd ask for you to follow that. We would still ask, whatever the case may be, like in here tonight, continue to social distance at different functions and things like that, and continue to wash your hands. I'm going to echo on what Mr. Roy said. The Minden cleanup was a huge success, the biggest one we've had since I've been the mayor. I'd like to thank all the churches and the church groups that helped with this. A lot of civic groups got out and helped. Various different schools through the community got out and helped. The council members from Mr. Edwards to Mr. Roy to Ms. Bloxham and Mr. Bradford, we appreciate y'all's assistance and help. Mr. Yoakum led 2 teams. We appreciate Mr. Yoakum that, and our economic developer led a team as well. Ball season is in full swing. If you like sports and like to see young people play ball, we encourage you to go to the recreation complex. We've got a new vendor down there serving food. I hear his burgers and his street tacos are off the chain. So if you want to go down there and not cook and just eat, we invite you to do so. Grilling on Main, one of the biggest festivals we have in the city of Minden, will be back this year after taking a COVID year off. It's going to have a lot of new things this year. There'll be teenagers grilling on Friday night that will be back over here in the parking lot beside the city where you pay your utility bills. Across the street at GBT's new drive-in there, that's where they're the title sponsors for the cornhole tournament. That will be held over there. B1 Bank is our title sponsor. They will be hosting the event all through the weekend. So we invite everyone to come out. If you need applications to grill or something like that, you need to contact Mahala Hutto at Main Street or one of their board members. The spring weather is right here on top of us. It shows that Mendon is strong. We're healthy with the big increase we had in sales tax. I encourage everybody to continue to support our whole